Hello, everyone. Welcome back. It's Cindy from Meet Cindy. And if you enjoy watching about personal finance, building generational wealth, and achieving financial freedom, make sure to subscribe and smash the like button. So today we welcome Jared Dillian again to our show. And we'll be talking about market updates, Fed meeting takeaways, his future outlook on stocks, gold, like precious metals, oil, and uranium. Let's welcome Jared.
Hey, thanks for having me.
So Jared, since Fed has been talking quite a lot lately, the past 1 to 2 weeks, and even today, what's your takeaway on the meetings? Mm-hmm.
Well, the Fed has a plan. They plan to cut asset purchases by $15 billion a month, which will last 8 months. And then after that, they're going to hike rates. So that puts the first rate hike in the summer of next year. This Fed is different than the Fed that we had when I started trading. This Fed plans very far out into the future. And, they said they have flexibility to adjust up or down the asset tapering, but they're on a predetermined plan. And I will say that, even today we had, Jim Bullard say that we're going to have 2 rate hikes in 2022, and Clarita thinks we might have 1 rate hike. And if you go back 3 months ago, we weren't pricing in any rate hikes in 2022. So this is a pretty big change. I think if they start to get a little bit more aggressive about tightening, could be tough for stocks. But the stock market is up 15 out of the last 17 days. And it's just been, a relentless grind higher. So we'll see. I think the Fed is further along than where they were a couple of months ago.
When you talk about rate hikes, how much do you think they will increase it by?
It's only going to be 25 basis points. So if based on what's priced in right now, Fed funds would be 50 to 75 basis points at the end of 2022. I tend to think they'll do more than that. I think we could be at 1% at the end of 2022.
That's pretty significant for just 1 year, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you foresee like correction or a bear market or a crash next year?
So there's a couple things that's going to be happening. I mean, one, the Fed's going to be tightening, and two, based on what we saw in the elections last week, there's a pretty good chance of a pretty big Republican majority in the House and the Senate in 2022 at the midterm elections. And the blueprint for that is 1994, 2010, when Clinton and Obama were presidents. The Republicans took over Congress, and then they drastically cut back spending. So the interesting part about that is that we're right now we have a $3.5 trillion deficit. We could go to a $500 billion deficit. I mean, which is $3 trillion less in spending than we had in 2021. And that's going to have a big effect on GDP. That combined with the rate hikes, I think 2022 is going to be a lot tougher than 2021.
Also, I think last weekend, a huge breaking news happened, like the infrastructure bill got approved, right?
It did, but it's much smaller than they originally anticipated. Yeah.
Okay, so I think the market probably already foresee that, right? And it's already Yeah.
Priced in.
Priced in. Yes, that's
Yeah.
what I was looking for. So, what's your outlook on precious metals?
Well, things have actually been looking pretty good for gold in the last week or two. It's about 1825 now. The chart's looking a little bit more constructive. I'm reasonably bullish. Silver has kind of been lagging, but silver is starting to look a little bit better. I think it's possible gold could get to 1900 in the next month. I think that's possible. So we'll see.
Okay, a lot of experts are predicting 2K for gold, like pretty soon.
Well, I also think that's totally reasonable, but I'm just trying to, manage expectations. Gold has been disappointing for the last year and a half. So
yeah, why do you think so? Why is it so much like the movement is not as good as compared to stocks or crypto?
I think it's because of crypto. I think a lot of the money that would have gone into gold has gone into crypto. Billions and billions of dollars have gone into crypto. I think in the absence of crypto, that would have gone into gold. I think gold could be at 2,500 if it wasn't for Bitcoin.
Okay, so basically, crypto took the spotlight.
Yeah.
Are you more bullish on gold or crypto?
I don't know that I'm more bullish on gold in the long term, and I'm more bullish on crypto in the short term.
Okay. Talking about crypto, where do you see it going by, let's just say Bitcoin by end of the year?
I don't know. I'm actually sort of less interested in Bitcoin nowadays. I'm doing a lot of research on some of the altcoins. I actually think, I think Bitcoin is kind of useless. It's kind of a pet rock. It doesn't really do anything, whereas a lot of the other cryptos like have actual utility, like they actually serve a function. So I've been doing some research on some of the other cryptos, and I'm just a novice. Like I don't, this isn't really what I do, but I'm starting to do some research on it, and there's a lot of other things I would rather own than Bitcoin.
Do you mind naming which ones? Which else?
Maybe on our next call.
Okay. Metaverse, NFTs, NFT altcoins has been like pumping lately, right? Like it's been hot. Some of the names are probably like Decentraland and Sandbox. Did you are you familiar with any of those?
No, I'm not. No.
Okay. Got it. How about Metaverse? Facebook recently changed their name to Meta. What are your thoughts on that? What's your outlook on Metaverse?
Well, the interesting thing about that rebranding is they totally did it internally. They didn't hire any public relations firms or anybody else to do that transition. I don't think it really does anything. Google has been Alphabet for the last 6 or 7 years, and everybody still calls them Google. I think we'll still call Facebook. So and I think a lot of the metaverse stuff that they're working on is interesting, but I think it's way out in the future. I think it's quite a few years before that really takes effect.
Okay. I personally think that it's Metaverse and like those 3D kind of creations are actually, a lot of people think that it's further than most people think, but I personally think that it's actually coming sooner than most people think. Probably like in the next, let's just say 2 to 4 years. Yeah. It will be more mainstream at that time. Yeah, that's what I think. Okay. What's your outlook on oil and this crude oil, uranium? Mhm.
Uranium, I had a position in that for a long time and I sold it about a month ago. I haven't really been following it. People seem to be pretty excited about it. I think oil is in a correction. So somebody asked me 2 weeks ago if I thought it would hit, which I thought it would hit first, 70 or 100, and I actually said 70. I think it's going to correct a little bit, but I do think it's going to hit 100. I think it'll hit 70 before 100. But sentiment got a little bit hot around energy. Sentiment is also hot around uranium. I'm not involved in energy or uranium right now.
You're fully out of the
Yeah.
positions. Okay. Um, and I mean, I don't know if you follow the SPX chart. You probably do, right? You're
Yeah.
an index fund trader. Uh, uh, right now, our put to call ratio is pretty low, and also we're reaching like the the through the resistance line. Do you foresee like a correction to the lower end of the line?
I don't know. This has been a strong, impulsive move higher. I think we're getting towards the end of it. I think we'll probably peak in the next couple of days. I don't know if we'll get a meaningful correction. But like I said, this has been a very powerful move. And I think we're probably 85 to 90% through it.
Okay. You're probably foreseeing some correction and then maybe like another another climb up.
Yeah, maybe.
Okay, got it. Yeah. Let's see. Any final thoughts on on markets, crypto, or precious metals?
I don't know if I have any final thoughts. I've had some individual stocks that have done pretty well lately. That's made up for some mistakes. But seasonally, the last 2 months of the year tend to be pretty good. I've traded a lot through Thanksgiving, through Christmas. Markets usually go higher. I have a tough time seeing a really big correction between now and the end of the year.
Okay, so you're more bullish
In the short term, yeah.
in the short term. Got it. Okay. Maybe if you want to share some ticker symbols or specific ones that you like.
Well, one name that I bought, I want to say about 3 or 4 months ago, was Airbnb. I bought it when it was much lower. They just reported earnings on Thursday, and it was a huge number. It was kind of an interesting trade because there was this whole reopening theme in the stock market, and the airlines were going up and the cruise lines were going up and hotels, but Airbnb was totally left behind. And I thought that was kind of an anomaly. And one of the reasons it was left behind was because all the sell side analysts were looking at the stock and they said this is overvalued. And the whole valuation argument seems stupid to me. But now earnings have gone up so much that valuation is less of a concern. So the stock has gone from the 130s to 200 in 3 or 4 months. So that's been a terrific trade.
Amazing. maybe on your newsletter you can provide give tips on which ones you think specific trades.
Yeah. I do that sometimes. Yeah.
Okay. Are you out of it now or you're still keeping it?
I still own it. Yeah.
You're still on it. Okay. What's your target price?
Probably about 300.
Oh, okay. Got it. Right now is about 200 something, right? Okay. So a little bit more to go. That's very good. And that's probably all-time highs, right? Is it?
No, I think it was a little bit higher after the IPO.
Okay. Got it. It was hyped during the IPO time. Okay. Any others that you're looking to get into, like get in like soon for the Christmas bull run?
Actually, I don't have anything interesting in the pipeline. I'll let you know when I do.
Thanks. Thanks for that. Hey, on the next show, we will share more.
Yeah.
More traits. Okay. So yeah, how do people find you, Jared?
Best way to find me is on Twitter at Daily Dirtnap. You can also go to dailydirtnap.com if you want to subscribe to the newsletter.
All right. So this is like a more surprise thing. I just start asking like my guest surprising questions to make it more fun. But yeah, if you had a choice between two superpowers, like being invisible, but you really smell bad, or flying and also smell bad, which one would you choose?
I'd be invisible. But having said that, if I had a superpower, I would really want to read minds. That's what I would want to do.
Oh, okay. That's very useful. But don't you think sometimes, like when you're reading so many people's minds, you get overwhelmed?
That's not really the part that I'm worried about. The part that I'm worried about is I might find out something I don't want to know.
Yeah. That too. And also there's probably a lot of like, sometimes people think of things where it's just stupid, right? And you probably don't want to hear those things. Okay. And if you could compare yourself with any animal, which would it be and why?
Well, I mean, you're talking to a guy that owns 6 cats, so for sure I would be a cat. Yeah.
Oh, you love it a lot, huh?
Yep.
Why is that?
Why do I like cats? I don't know. Ever since I was a little kid, I've always liked cats. I've always been a cat owner. They're terrific. They're terrific.
Do you think you can talk to them? Do you have, do you think they can understand you?
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. Amazing. Yeah. Animals have this connection that's unexplainable a lot of times.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us on this show.
Thank you.
We'll see you another time.
Yep.
Have a good day. Bye.